Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony for Anthony's Customs, and for this video we're going to talk about some Halo product news. So at Toy Fair just recently, it was announced that Mattel has acquired the master license for Halo, which has a kind of a lot going on there. So a lot of people have asked me what I think about it. Most people know that I'm into Halo and that I review most Halo products on this channel, and so I've gotten a lot of questions about that whole thing. And while we don't have the most information about it, I would like to talk about a few things because I am fairly familiar with the various licenses and products and things like that. So figured I would touch on the whole general topic a little bit for you guys, and that way you know where I stand. Instead of everybody asking me, you can just watch this video. So, prior to this new licensing agreement, we basically just had the McFarlane toys. I mean, we've had various other small things like the Jada metal vehicles and radio-controlled things, and like the NECA, the big guy. You know, we've had various little like batches of things here and there, but the biggest license that, as far as collectors were concerned, was the McFarlane license, which has been going since Halo 3. And during the Halo 3 time, the McFarlane figures got pumped out like crazy. There was a bunch of them, a whole bunch, and I personally and many people really liked the line. Sure, there was some quality control issues, but they were generally really good, really fun figures at a good price. Since then, the line has slowly but steadily and continuously, that might be redundant, gone downhill. The number of figures has gone down drastically. The quality of the figures has gone down drastically. Sure, the paints still look good. Sure, they're a little bit taller, but in terms of an action figure, they don't have the posability. It's really hard for most of the figures to stand up. Even just straight up and down, they don't like to stand. You can't pose them very well. Oftentimes, they can't even hold their weapons. So it's very disappointing if you're a person collecting the McFarlane Halo figures. Probably the most disappointing thing about that is that they don't finish batches of figures. The ODST squad, for instance, from Halo 3 ODST, they never finished them off. We never got them all. Luckily, they did the right thing and finished off Noble Team, but it's a general thing that figures get canceled. We never got our Thomas Lasky. We never got a variety of characters that a lot of people wanted. So it's very disappointing. That coupled with the lack of quality, problematic. They're down to producing like 10 figures a year at this point with the license. So in essence, that license was being wasted. Very, very disappointing. And now it's a problem because they're going to be done most likely after this next batch of figures. I don't know if it's going to be that way or not. I mean, in theory, they could still have a couple more batches that they're allowed to finish. I don't see that being the case, though. So we're not going to be able to finish Blue Team or Fire Team Osiris. We're not going to get Vale. We're not going to get Linda. It's just disappointing. That being said, let's talk about what is good and what you guys probably came to hear about, which is the Mattel license. They have carte blanche, if that's how you say it. I don't know. I don't speak the French. Anyway, they can make basically whatever they want now with that master license. Now, that's not to say that McFarlane won't still be able to make things here. Not McFarlane. NECA or various other people, other companies. I don't know if this master license is exclusionary toward everything else. I think there might be ways for them to negotiate other companies to make specific things that Mattel isn't going to make. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But there is a pretty big variety of things coming from Mattel. We already have the Mega Bloks, which is now part of Mattel. And we're going to have a nice smattering, is that? Whatever. Of other figures. We're going to have some larger figures with like smaller or fewer points of articulation, less detail. We're going to get a 6-inch line, which I'm particularly interested in. We have the Boomco stuff coming out, which is like kind of like the equivalent to Nerf, if you're not familiar. Radio-controlled things, smaller figures, other figures, just a whole lot of stuff. So that's a good thing. The more the better in terms of the branding, in terms of the license. the problem with a small company like McFarlane is they couldn't even afford the shelf space to get their figures on the shelves in the big box retailers. So the lines didn't do well. They couldn't perform because they didn't have the product availability. It just didn't work. With a company like Mattel, you will most likely see at least an eighth of an aisle dedicated to Halo. With this variety of product, they're going to definitely need the space, so they're probably going to shell out the money, and you're going to see a section of Halo on the shelf, which is a good thing. It's going to bring Halo to the forefront. People are going to be buying the product because it's there. You can't buy what you don't see. And the other good thing about this is it's going to be product for all ages. Kids, adults, collectors, casual buyers, anything you want, you're going to be able to get Halo product. That's going to further the line in the branding, so that's a really good thing. Now, the thing some people are concerned with, and they brought it up to me, is the quality of the product. So I'm going to talk specifically about the 6-inch line. Now, we don't know if it says 6-inch line, so I'm assuming they're not actually 1/12 scale. We should expect to see Spartans at about 6 inches, so they're going to be out of scale with like Marvel Legends and things. But I think that's okay, because nothing has been in scale with them anyways in terms of Halo. But people are worried that these figures are going to look plasticky and less collectible and more like kids' toys. And here's my response to that. Maybe. They might, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The Joyride line of Halo figures is still one of the best bunches of Halo figures to date. They looked really good. They were really fun to collect. Sure, they were a little plasticky, but they did what they did very well. They could pose relatively well. They were made well, high level of quality. And so far, we just haven't really gotten that lately from McFarlane. So I think if Mattel can even do as little as matching what Joyride did, then we're in the clear. I think it's a good thing. And if they go even farther, which it looks like they're going to, I think I read that it was around 30 POA per the 6-inch figures. That's a lot. So as long as that articulation is done even semi-well, it should be really good. Even if they end up looking a little plasticky, they should still be fun and worth collecting. So I'm very excited for this. You know, I've had my issues with Mattel product in the past. I've had good experiences with Mattel product also, especially now that they're starting to, it looks to me like they're moving in a slightly different direction, picking up companies like Mega who are known for putting the quality out. I'm just hoping they continue that same mentality going forward. And I think 343 is going to foster that a little bit better also, because they don't want product that's coming out that's not any good. And we know Mattel is certainly large enough to be able to put out whatever they want, quality-wise, quantity-wise, variety, whatever they want. They can think of it, they can figure it out, and they can make it happen, whereas a smaller company just couldn't do it, McFarlane in particular. So I think it's a very good thing. I'm very excited to see where it goes. I do have some reservations, but that's going to be the case with any new line. Do I want to have to collect everything that I've already purchased in a slightly different scale? Not necessarily, but I'm hoping that the figures, and it looks like they might be good enough to warrant that and to actually make me want to do it. So again, I'm very optimistic. I have faith that it can be done, and I think it very well might be done. So until we get more information, there's not a whole lot more I can say, but I'm very excited for what I see, and I think it might just work out. So that's my take on it. Hopefully you guys are interested in it as well, and I'd like to hear what your thoughts are in the comment section below. So make sure you don't forget to leave a comment before you leave, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.